Why headlines?
I look real cute.
Why are you playing? First of all, the dance was inappropriate for headlines. And why headlines as the song of the day?
Oh, headline. First of all, my dance was not inappropriate. You know, with my
It was inappropriate.
I had to get my MILF on.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And we have to talk about some headlines. I'm really sad
What
to see, like, for people keep laughing about. Did you hear about the thing that happened at the McDonald's in Brooklyn? Where the people got beat, like the girl got her skull fractured and another girl got her arm broken by a McDonald's employee. And it's just really disturbing. And McDonald's needs to do background checks.
I definitely did see what you saw. And what I definitely did see, I don't know if you saw it, but I definitely saw that McDonald's employee being provoked and being hit first and defending himself.
Did
And
you see, wait, T, did you
I saw
see,
him lose it, is what I saw.
did you see that you saw him lose it? You
I
saw him lose
saw him lose it. I saw him lose it.
Did you see that after he took the two girls down, that they were no longer fighting and he was still swinging?
He told them, "Stay down, don't get up, don't get up." And I guess every time they moved, he swung that thing. I do think, however, it is sad that he's being held on
No, I
forty
think it's
thousand
sad
dollars.
that somebody's sitting in the hospital with a fractured skull. Like, this is bananas. This is really, really bananas. Like, we need to do better. And I'm not just talking about in Brooklyn, New York City. I'm just talking as a black people as a whole. Like, this is embarrassing. Embarrassing. We need to stop. Why are we fighting each other in the McDonald's?
I guess she underestimated him because he did work at a McDonald's.
But when does the line come in that you don't hit women like that?
I mean, if you can hit a man,
I understand, but a
you can
slap to the
hit. You can
face,
definitely hit
a
back.
slap to the, you cannot tell me that
If you can
you
hit,
cannot tell me that
I'm
a slap
sorry.
to a face justifies a fractured skull. I'm sorry.
I say she was the aggressor.
But a slap to the face does not, I understand an eye for an eye. That's an
After the
eye,
man walked away,
that is, Tariva, that was not an eye for an eye, and you know it. You cannot say that she should have walked away with a fractured skull.
I say she should have never put her hands on that man
I'm
in
gonna
the
play the
first place.
video. You want to re-see the video?
Play that video. I want to re-see it. I saw it.
So just
I
sad.
I feel like the man definitely really do feel like he lost it.
I'm just like I'm sad for everybody. Really. I'm sad that it had to go down like that. Like nobody deserves to get this skull fracture. He didn't deserve to be slapped in his face. He didn't deserve I think she called him a pussy and your manager's a pussy and the guy with the ponytail over there is something crazy to that effect she was saying or mumbling or whatever, but I don't think he deserved they were expecting to get beat.
Again, they underestimated him. You don't know what anybody's capable of.
That's true, but
I really
I would think
I don't
I
say that
think
she
as women,
deserved her fractured skull.
I think as women, we should expect the black man that he's not going to beat us down with a pole.
I think as a woman, we should keep our hands to ourselves. And I don't think because we're women, we should expect to be able to put our hands on a man, woman, child, or whoever. And because we are female, not expect to get hit back. If you can hit, you can definitely get hit back. I don't know what you
But
want to
why?
teach your baby, but I know
Okay,
when I
so
have my son,
but
I'm
at, but
definitely
at,
going to teach him.
but at what point is it self defense or is it just him? So at no point do you think he went too far?
Honestly, I feel like, and I had this discussion with my man earlier. I said, you know what? I feel like he did go a little bit far. You know, he hit them, they got down. He said, you know what, T, you can't go far when you black out like that. There's no such thing as going far when you black out. And somebody who blacked out once before, you're not in your own state of mind. You're really not in your own frame of mind when
Well,
you just
I
when you
don't
go
have the
ham.
I don't have the video. I have the audio.
Who's upstairs? Pussy? Fuck out of here. Thank you. Fuck out of here. The man is a pussy. You want to anyway, mommy, I fucking see 100 girl pussy. There's so much man right there at the point though.
That was just the audio, and you can't tell me that you didn't hear the hits that he was laying on the girls. You
I
can't.
heard that.
It sounded bad, and I don't want to. I don't know how many of our viewers want to see that, so that's why I didn't play the video. But the audio is disturbing. So when it's too much, when is it not self defense? She slapped him in the face. He smashed her in the skull with a metal pole. So what was he defending? His face or his pride?
If I'm not mistaken, did she
Oh
slap?
my!
No, when didn't she jump over the counter
We're
to
watching.
slap him
We're
in the
looking at the
wait,
audio.
wait, wait,
We're
wait,
listening to audio. We're not watching
wait, wait,
video.
wait. You're gonna build your story based on audio. I saw the video. She jumped over the counter to slap him in the face. He walked, and then her friend walked around the counter to get in his face, and he
That
walked
is true.
back, came with something, and they still never left.
Well, apparently the story is that
Still in his face.
he questioned the authenticity of their $50 bill that they tried to pay with that morning, and they were
And
offended.
as I don't shop at McDonald's, I don't eat from McDonald's, but I know when you do go into McDonald's, there's a big sign that says
We
no
do
bills
not
over
accept
$20.
bills over $20. I don't know about rest of
Which is like
America,
that in any fast food
but New
restaurant.
York City does not. McDonald's does not accept bills over $20. So apparently that's what the argument was. I think he was like, I can't take the 50, or I don't can't take the 50 because we get it. Maybe he told them that, hey, we get a lot of fake, and that,
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but I know there was a problem with their $50 bill, and they were offended. And not that this has anything to do with why it was okay for them to get beat down, but they were dykes. Is that politically correct to say? Is that okay?
I think it's politically correct or
They
not.
were
I mean,
they were
I-
strong they were strong lesbians.
they were AGs, aggressive.
Oh,
They were definitely the manly type.
and they did not deserve to get beat down. I am
Um,
not trying to play them in any type of shape or form. I really don't. I'm not good with the gay lingo. Is gay politically correct to say?
I think so.
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to offend anybody, but they definitely were the strong female type in the relationship. And the police report on the scene said that both women were definitely intoxicated that Sunday morning. So we got two women sitting in the
It's sad
hospital.
on both ends
But no, but Tareva, you're not listening. You're missing the point. This man had just got out of jail for
for
shooting and
murdering.
killing his high school classmate 10 years ago. He's 30 years old. He got a bullshit job at McDonald's, and he's a little under pressure. And these girls, they tested him, and I'm not gonna say that they did not test him, but what if McDonald's didn't hire somebody who just did a bid for murder? what you understand what I'm saying? How much of this has to do with his background and self-defense versus the fact that he's just a violent individual? How much of this has to do with McDonald's policies? Like, why are we getting our, like, is it okay for us to be getting our food served from a convicted murderer? Like, is this okay? You're not understanding what the problem is.
I mean, I understand what the problem is, but I'm trying to think how to say this. We deal with so many people every day. We don't know who's who. Um, and we don't know who's who. And who's to say that this man couldn't reform himself or
But
was
I'm
not
saying, but
reformed?
no, but Tarif, at the same time, it didn't take a much. It didn't take much for him to snap.
It didn't take much. I mean, but
So I didn't
for
see a
me,
reformed
bottom
individual.
line is,
I'm not saying
I
that if she had
saw you
slapped me,
saw
we wouldn't have got what?
but I definitely see somebody who was tested, who was provoked.
I mean, right now he's sitting in a federal prison,
He's sitting in a
waiting,
federal prison,
and
and
he's
one
being
girl
tried.
sitting with a gash,
The girl, both the
and all
one
they got
girl
was
is.
disorderly conduct. They didn't get charged. They got charged with disorderly conduct, and I don't know, but he got charged with something like criminal possession of a weapon. First of all, he picked up anything that he found in the back to defend himself. I don't understand how that becomes criminal possession of a weapon. And what else was his other charge? Hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now.
I think he got charged with felony assault.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. It's a
I
tough
mean, there was
one.
a woman in the back. I could
But I
play it.
think for me, my question definitely is late. I think for me, at the end of the day, when it's too far, like what is too far when you
When
reach
they
the
were
breaking
already
point?
down, they were no longer fighting, and he was still swinging. You hear a woman in the background screaming, "Stop! Stop!" And what if they didn't? What if nobody said anything? What?
Maybe she like frightened everybody too, like with her damn screaming. That shit was annoying me. That's enough to set anybody off.
Well,
I
not
was
to
I
say
was
anything.
irritated by listening to it.
Not to say anything. You might be correct because me and my boyfriend were driving, and I thought he was driving recklessly, and I thought we was about to run into the back of this van when we was on the Tappan Zee, and
Mhm.
I start screaming, "Oh my God!" And he cursed me out. He was like, that was making the
You you
situation
you you
worse.
make somebody nervous with that.
He was like,
That's enough to
we
make
was not
anyone
gonna
nervous.
crash. He was like, we were not gonna crash. He was like, all he kept trying, he said he thought something else had went wrong, that I was screaming, and he was trying to figure out how to not crash and figure out what was wrong with me. I was like, nothing's wrong with me. You, I'm screaming about the same thing. He was like, don't ever do that. So I should just die silently. I guess that's the advice for me in the future.
I mean, as a driver, I totally understand where he's coming from. That's enough to just set you off and just scare the hell out of you. Somebody else screaming when you know that you got it. You know that everything is under control. You scare him even more. Dag, I can't find that.
Well, girl, I'm gonna call you in a little bit. This is just really disturbing. Black people need to do better.
I don't think it's just black people though. I think that could have happened to anybody. And I don't think his background, I mean, shit, I could be a murderer and kill somebody like 10 years ago and didn't go to jail for it and still helping people at my